Thanks for watching a Java with John AZ video. Very much appreciate it. We only have so much time on this planet, so, why do it in a bad meeting? You might as well put your time to good use. Coffee drinking is important. Make sure you do that. Meetings have a purpose. They're useful. You get information, good, bad, or both. Share resources, coordinate everybody together to make sure everybody's working towards the same goals. You get new ideas, brainstorming, you get that two-way communication going. So there's a lot of positives for doing a meeting. The problem is people who host meetings or people who attend meetings, there's ways to do the meeting correctly to make them less painful. And what I'm about to share with you works both for in-person and virtual meetings. So first thing you want to do, obviously, is schedule the meeting, but find a time. If it's an impromptu meeting or something that has to be put together, make sure it works with everybody's schedule. Too often, somebody will just throw a meeting invite out there without asking anybody if they're available or checking their schedules, and then it's just more work having to re-coordinate. So check with everybody, make sure who's available. Unless there's a pressing opportunity or a pressing problem that needs to be solved, set it far enough in the future, the meeting time, so that everybody can plan around it. If it's a routine, regular meeting, sales meeting, staff meeting, whatever it might be, always have it at the same day, same time, same week of the month. So this way you build in that routine, repetition, people know it's on the schedule. That also builds trust, confidence in everybody too. You want to start the meetings on time. You want to end the meetings on time. I'll make sure I'll get more into that a little bit later. Then you want to be on time for the meeting. I always show up a few minutes early, even the virtual meetings, just to make sure everything's working with the technology, and show up in-person meetings early, so chit-chat with others or make sure I've got a good seat, something close to the coffee, obviously. Meetings should always have a clear topic, clear purpose. You want to put an agenda together. This gives everybody two things. Number one, everybody who's attending gives them an opportunity to prep for the meeting themselves. Also shows the meeting is important because you have a written out agenda, so everybody knows what's going to be discussed. It's important. Topic alone, if you're doing, like I said, an opportunity pops up or problem needs to be solved, that particular topic, that's a topic, that's the purpose of the meeting, so it's very clear what would be discussed. And in that case, there's only one topic. It's not, you're not going over a smorgasbord of things. You want to make sure your agenda has specific points, new material, follow-ups on what has been done or what was discussed at previous meetings, anything else anybody may want to add or throw in. You need to know who's going to talk about what. Obviously, whoever's facilitating the meeting, hosting it, chairing it, whatever word you want to use, they've set the agenda, so they've put the items of importance there. But everybody at the meeting has a purpose for being there, so make sure that whoever needs to speak or address or give updates, they're prepared for that too. Make sure it's the right people at the meeting. You want to send the agenda in advance so everybody can review it. Minimum 2 days. I try to do it a week out sometimes. This way everybody, like I said, has a chance to go through it better. Also make sure that they have the information needed, get the correct people there, as I had mentioned. Once you're at the meeting, you want to take notes, whether you're the host, if you have to assign somebody to be the meeting secretary, notes for yourself if you're the attendee, because you want to know what the summary of the meeting was, what the important parts are, if there's any action items that need to be taken, any follow-up items. You want to be able to have some sort of a documentation on what was discussed and what's going to be needed to achieve the goals, whether it's a nonprofit, a company, your department, whatever it might be. The environment for a meeting should be open, no fear. You don't attack people. You want to assist people. We're all working towards the same thing. On a football field, you don't see the tight ends battling the center because they're all striving to get to the end zone. That's what meetings have to be. You got to be able to be open without turning things personal. So be civil. I mean, polite that way, but make sure your point is coming across too in a very courteous way as well. And you want to be honest, be truthful. That again, if you're building trust, but if you're given bad information, intentionally given bad information, that's going to impact and have an effect on how people react or what planning can be done. With if it's a virtual meeting, you want to turn on your camera all the time. People want to see you. You want to be able to be seen. So make sure your camera is on. Again, that goes into being polite because people want to have that eye contact. You want to mute your microphone if you're not talking. So this way there's no background noise. You're not heavy breathing, anything weird like that. If you inadvertently sneeze. But this way, whoever's talking, they don't have to deal with the ambient sound that multiple microphones open would have. If you have a question or you want to say something at a virtual meeting, there's a button to press to virtually raise your hand. If it's a small enough meeting, you'll see me do this. Or I give them the Emperor's Scroob. For you Spaceballs fans, I'll do that once in a while to get attention. So, because just don't want to shout things out. Again, that's rude, and multiple people talking, it gets confusing. Focus, and speaking of which, focus on what's being discussed. It's really easy when you're in a virtual meeting to have the camera on, to be listening to the meeting and doing something on your desk, or looking over here, or in my case, wondering what the cat is up to. Because if you ever see me in a virtual meeting and the camera's here and you see me looking like this, it's because the cat is up to no good. So focus on what's being discussed. Again, that goes to being polite. You also might miss something. Don't miss out on what you may get volunteered to do or what you may be assigned to do. At the end of the meeting, you want to summarize what was talked about, any important action points, what the important things were that need to get done, any task assignments, as I said, action items. Depending on the type of meeting, you may want to send a summary of what was discussed, the action points. Depends on how long the meeting was or how critical things are. So if you email that out, make sure you get that out within a couple of days, so this way it stays fresh in everyone's mind, including yours. But at the end of the meeting, virtual, in person, and in the email summary, thank people for their time. You may be the owner of a company, you may be the CEO, VP, whatever, department head, and everybody's doing it because it's their job. But at the same time, when they're in a meeting, they're not being productive, they're not getting the work done. Some people get frustrated by that. Again, that's the reason why too many boring meetings take away from what's important for the company or what people feel is important to get done throughout the day. One of the things that comes up in conversation all the time is snacks. Something to eat during the meeting. Are snacks nice? Oh yeah. Because, bagels and donuts in the morning, along with coffee for a meeting is terrific. Problem is, food is a distraction. Everybody concentrated on what to eat, what they're going to eat, what they're picking to eat. Even if you're meeting at a restaurant, same thing. So if you're meeting in a restaurant, let me start with that one first. Lunch meeting, whatever it might be. I always do coffee meetings. Get your order, chit-chat in line, sit down, get right to work. If you're doing a lunch meeting, some people keep it to a group of 4 or less. 4 people ordering lunch, talking like that, it would be more of a casual meeting. We're just kind of updating, getting things out, meeting up, whatever it might be. No more than 3 people if you're talking about critical items, signing contracts, getting into deals, building partnerships, because beyond that, then it becomes, again, food's the distraction, and everybody eating takes away from what's being discussed. Coffee, you don't have that problem, not as much, anyways. If it's a formal meeting, and let me rephrase this. If it's a meeting with a lot of people in it, where it's going on for hours and you have serving lunch, a lot of companies or a lot of organizations will do a box lunch. Everybody grab it, go back to your seat and work while you eat. That's not going to cut it, because people, again, are focused on their food. They're being distracted. So in that case, actually schedule a lunch break. Give everybody time to catch their breath from the morning or the first part of the session, get ready for the second, have a little downtime, and then they can focus on their food rather than what's being talked about. Doesn't always work, because I know that at some big organization luncheons, they'll have the keynote speaker talking during lunch. That happens. So, but if you're trying to get things done in a group, in a department, company, whatever it might be, again, food is a distraction, so keep that in mind. If you're in person, well, obviously, if you're in person, if somebody's feeding you, everybody helps with the cleanup. Don't leave it for one person to do all the work. So, and I know that if 1 or 2 of you or more are going to hate me for saying that, because there's nothing like being a vulture right after a big meeting and going in and grabbing all the extra goodies at the end. Yes, I am one of those people. I mean, who can say no to a donut, right? So, everything I just told you is critical for meetings. The worst thing you can do, stretching a meeting out. If you have an hour meeting and everything is done within 30 minutes, your meeting's done. Thank you, everybody. Take it to the next step. If you're just filling the hour just to be in a meeting, chit-chat, camaraderie, some of that plays to effect, but it's busy work. It's not productive work. That's called Parkinson's Law, where you're just filling time because it's available. Try to avoid that. One thing to ask yourself when you're putting meetings together, out of everything I just told you, is there a clear, specific topic or agenda? Is immediate feedback needed? Is there need for collaboration, brainstorming, some types of commitments to get some things done? Are there complete or new action items? Complete that need to be addressed, or new action items that need to be assigned? So, clear, specific topic and agenda, feedback, immediate feedback required, need for collaboration, commitments, brainstorming, new action items. You can replay this, but if you say yes to those 4 items, it's a meeting. If you say no to any of them, it can be an email. So keep that in mind as well. Think, when you're thinking of a productive meeting, think of a football huddle. It's one topic, how to get the first down or to the end zone, taking care of the next play, basically. Clear objective. Everybody, each person knows their purpose. Center, tight end, QB, whoever it might be. And it's a short meeting, 30 seconds. Same football would be the defense. What defensive play you're going to do. Again, very specific, very goal-oriented. Here's what everybody's got to do, and let's break. Got to do that. So those are the way to make productive meetings. Make them less boring, make them effective. Because if it's a boring meeting, people just feel like their time has been wasted. What else could I have been doing that was more productive than just sitting around at this boring-ass meeting? So take the effort. If you're putting the meeting together, take the effort with the steps that I had just listed out. If you're participating, participate. Be part of the meeting. So it's a matter of being, again, polite. Be considerate of everybody's time. And I'm grateful for the time you've taken to watch this video or some of my other videos. I'm going to finish up my cup of coffee before I get to my next meeting. So I hope you have a great day, great week, and a great rest of the year.